Today I will be informing you on the current methods, pros and cons concerning blood doping. What is blood doping and what does it do? The oxygen carrying capacity of one's body has been the limiting factor to the majority of endurance sports. It is well established that oxygen carrying capacity is mediated through cardiac output and hemoglobin. Essentially, blood doping is the misuse of substances to optimize oxygen delivery to the muscles, with the aim of increasing performance. Therefore, blood doping includes blood transfusion, administration of EPO, stimulating agents, or blood substitutes, such as synthetic O2 carriers. By increasing oxygenated blood carrying capacity, there is an increase in VO2 max ability, therefore prolonging exhaustion. The various methods included in blood doping can aid performance by up to 20%. Blood doping can be achieved through various methods, such as blood transfusions. Blood transfusions originate from the idea of treating critically ill patients who have forms of acute and chronic anemia. Due to the advanced progression of biotechnology, the separation of whole blood became available, which was known as blood component therapy. Blood component therapy consists of 4 components: red blood cells, platelets, plasma, and AHF. The method consists of either refrigerating red blood cells for a maximum of 40 days, or they may be frozen up to 10 days. Platelets, however, must be kept at room temperature. The risks, however, includes a potential mix-up of bloods, leading to foreign red blood cells entering the bloodstream, as well as potentially catching infectious diseases from the foreign blood, such as hepatitis B. The second type of method is EPO. EPO in human form is known as glycoprotein, which is produced in the kidneys. However, the artificially made substance is known as recombinant EPO, originally a method used to treat chronic anemia. Since the 1990s, it has been used by endurance athletes to aid performance. This due to EPO increasing red blood cell count, which leads to an increased transport of oxygen from the lungs to the working muscles. This is mainly relevant due to the increased EPO secretion upon exposure to hypoxia, which is stimulated by EPO. To support this, a previous study was conducted which showed the clear effects of EPO in endurance performance. The study began with 20 males who were given either EPO or placebo for 4 weeks. Those who got EPO had a rise in hematocrit by 8%, a 7% rise in VO2 max, and a 9% increase in time to exhaustion during a cycling test. The ergogenic benefits of the EPO last up to 3 weeks once the treatment stopped. Although this may seem like a positive enhancement for performance, there are various risks involved. This includes a rise in hematocrit, which essentially increases the blood viscosity to a point where the blood seems like mud. In drastic cases, this could also lead to blood clots. Regular EPO users often must wake up every 4 hours to ensure that blood clots aren't forming in their legs during their sleep. To consider further depth about the current EPO effects, methods and risks, please click on the picture which will take you to a link. To conclude on the various doping methods, here are the pros and cons in relation to blood doping and performance. Current pros include an increase in red blood cell count, leading to an increase in oxygen carrying capacity, which therefore leads to an increase in muscular endurance. The cons, however, can include an increased risk of catching infectious disease, whether this is through the mix-up of bloods or alternatively the misuse of needles. Cons also include an increased risk of potential organ failure, which can be caused from excessive stress on the larger organs, such as the heart. Also, the potential formation of blood clots can be caused mainly through the increase in blood viscosity. There are vast reasons for doping. This includes the most common comment of everyone else is doing it, so why shouldn't I? This statement has often been said by many athletes and brings up a competitive argument. Also, the pressures which come with sports, such as financial struggles, family struggles, and the pressure and the negative side effects of fame. As well as this, the influences of others highly control an athlete's mindset. A coach's influence can have a very big effect on an athlete's mind, therefore any misleading behaviour can influence the athlete's decision. Within professional sport, the most common way of detecting a forbidden substance in a biological matrix is to perform a blood or urine test. These are highly strategic measurements and form to be highly accurate, with only fine adjustments to the sensitivity of the analytical detection methods and by optimizing the timing of testing. However, the limiting factors apply when the foreign substance is similar to the normal constituents of the human organism. The vascular detection method used for recombining EPO is the ongoing work with membrane-assisted isoform immunoassays, which was developed by Maria Långberg and Ian Carlson from Sweden. The method is used to distinguish recombined proteins and peptide hormones from their counterparts through seeing the difference in protein-carbohydrate structure. This only requires a small amount of each isoform. MAIIA is also currently faster and cheaper than the current isoelectric focusing test used by WADA. Blood transfusions are a prohibited method of the World Anti-Doping Agency. There is no direct detection method for the procedure. This due to blood being the athlete's own blood, so chemically no foreign substance can be detected. However, WADA have strict regulations in place which state that all athletes training at high altitude must inform them and tell them exactly where and for how long. To conclude, sporting examples are given here. There are numerous sporting examples which have been detected for the use of blood doping within sport. One of the main sporting examples includes Lance Armstrong, a 7-time Tour de France champion who got his title stripped off him due to doping speculations. Lance Armstrong eventually admitted to the use of performance-enhancing drugs in an interview which can be viewed when clicking on the picture on the left. Another doping case included Russia. A doping phenomenon started which led to the revelation that majority of the Russian track and field team were on performing-enhancing drugs. This revelation led to the International Olympic Committee deciding to ban Russia from the Olympics. To find out further information on this topic, please click on the picture on the right-hand side of the slide. In order to find out anything more, please click on the pictures throughout the slides to take you to further links, which will then allow you to read on further about the various pros, cons, and methods surrounding blood doping. Thank you.